Smackdown starts off with Cody Rhodes, starts off with him cutting a promo. He ends up mentioning finally being cleared to wrestle again after what happened at Mania. And then he ends up asking the fans what's next, who's the next opponent, what's next for him as WWE Champion. Ricky Saints comes out, he makes his Smackdown debut. He confronts Cody Rhodes, confronts his longtime friend. He ends up mentioning, their history a bit, mentioning that, of course, they're friends, that, they're not new to each other. Ends up mentioning that he's the newest member of Smackdown. Ends up mentioning that he's basically there to take the crown, that he's there to start a revolution, that he's going to be the leader of this revolution. Mention his time at NXT and how things are different now, that him and Cody are different, that things are going to play out the same way how they were in the past. Cody eventually starts catching on and ends up, look, I'm assuming you want a match, you want to make a statement, so let's just go ahead and have a match between each other. They agreed to the match, will end up happening later in the show. It was a really solid match. Cody Rhodes does pick up the victory. A lot of people are over-exaggerating and overreacting to Ricky Saints' debut. His debut was not bad. I don't know why people are overreacting to his debut. We have seen this before. Just because you're not over immediately, that does not mean you're buried or you have to worry. It takes time. Let's calm down, okay? We've seen this with Carmelo Hayes. Not every NXT call-up is going to be this super over person. I think we got too accustomed to that with people like Oba, Braun Breaker. Like you're not going to be this super over talent overnight. Some people take time. Melo was one of them. Io Sky to a degree was one of them. It takes time. Lyra to a degree was like that. It takes time for certain people. So let's give it time. This was not a bad debut at all. The promo segment was fine between the two. The match was solid. And he lost to the WWE champion. Some people are saying that him losing was bad. It's like, this is the same thing they did with Melo. This is literally the exact same formula that they did with Carmelo Hayes. It's not that big of a deal. It's okay. It's fine. He will be fine. Let's give it time before we start judging this entire run, Ricky Saints on the main roster. But nonetheless, I thought this was good. I would actually enjoy a feud between these guys, but that's not going to happen anytime soon, especially due to what ended up happening, because after the match, you end up getting Gunther attacking Cody Rhodes, which is very confusing to me because they're on separate brands. And the last time we seen Gunther, he was interacting with LA Knight. So I'm a bit confused on why he attacked Cody Rhodes of all people. Also, I'm a bit confused on Gunther attacking him, not just because of the brand split, but also the last person that was feuding with Cody was Randy, and Randy punt kicked Cody holding the WWE Championship at Mania. So I just assumed that they would continue that story. Maybe they still are going to continue that story. Maybe Randy's hurt, maybe he's injured, that we don't know, but that is still a bit confusing because I just assumed they're just running back at Backlash, but apparently not. And also, I have been wanting these guys to feud for the longest time. I actually suggested that Cody and Gunther should have feuded the moment he retired John Cena. I've been saying that for the longest, that the moment he retired John Cena, they should have put him on SmackDown to dethrone Cody Rhodes. Now we're in a situation where I'm getting that, but I just don't like how we got it because it just doesn't make sense. He didn't transfer to SmackDown. He just went on SmackDown randomly and just attacked him. It's the same thing they did with Jacob. Why did Jacob just randomly go to Raw, even though he's a SmackDown guy, to get, it's just confusing. I don't understand why they don't just transfer to people. I understand Netflix, they want all the biggest stars, so I kind of understand why they're doing it because Netflix wants all the biggest stars, but it's I just feel like that this could have been just done better. The match will probably be great. I don't know if it's going to happen at Backlash, but the match is probably going to be a banger whenever it happens. But I'm going to be honest, if it does happen, Gunther should win this match. Gunther should win. I'm going to be honest. Gunther should win, honestly. He really should win, honestly, if I'm being honest. And honestly, I wouldn't mind it, to be honest with you. And you could still do the Randy and Cody story. You could easily have Randy get his revenge eventually on Cody. And then you could have him beat Gunther for the... Actually, I would like that more. Now that I think about it, I actually like that idea more. Have Randy beat Cody. Randy eventually dethrones Gunther, legend killer, career killer. They face... Randy beats Gunther. Then if you want Cody to get his title back, you could do that. But honestly, I know that Cody is winning this feud. I'm just very confused on it. Again, the feud and the build probably will be good, but again, it just doesn't make a lot of sense right now. We end up getting a singles match between Jacy Jayne and Charlotte Flair. This was a really solid match. Really enjoyed this match. You end up getting some interferences from Fatal Influence, get some distractions. This allowed Jacy Jayne to pick up the victory, which I was very surprised by. Jacy Jayne ended up pinning Charlotte Flair. This is a very good sign that they're very high on Jacy Jayne. Continue to book her the way they're booking her, man. She's a future star of that women's division. I am so happy how they're booking her. Let's just hope they continue this momentum because WWE does have a tendency of booking someone strong at the beginning and then it starts to fade after a certain point. So let's just hope that they continue to treat her well, because they're doing an amazing job with Fatal Influence so far. They're doing an amazing job. This faction is amazing. They're doing an amazing job with JC Jane. JC Jane can easily be one of the pillars of that women's division if they continue to keep pushing her the correct way. I am loving everything they're doing so far. After the match, you end up getting Fatal Influence. They attack Alexa Bliss. They attack Charlotte Flair. Rhea Ripley comes out, attacks them. Rhea Ripley does end up standing tall, and then it looks like we're going to get some alliance between Charlotte Flair, Alexa, and Rhea Ripley. I'm assuming it's going to be a 6-woman tag match next week, so I'm assuming that's the route that they're going. I don't know if this is eventually going to lead to a pay-per-view match. I don't think so, but I wouldn't mind it. They're kind of, teasing some things between Rhea and Charlotte. Charlotte still doesn't like Rhea. We could potentially get a WWE Women's Championship match. Potentially get a WWE Women's Championship match between Rhea and JC in the future. So I like what they're doing with this. We know who's winning this feud, but this is a good opportunity for Fatal Influence, putting them in the spotlight, putting them against Rhea, Charlotte, giving them that TV time. So I like what they're doing here. This is one of the more interesting things on the show, because Smackdown is not a good show. This is arguably the most interesting thing on the show, to be honest with you, with Fatal Influence. And it's making Rhea Ripley's title reign actually interesting, which I'm hoping this reign is good, because WWE Triple H does a bad job with Rhea Ripley title reign. So I'm hoping this could be something different, and this could be exciting, and Fatal Influence is a good way to insert some excitement for this title reign. So I am loving what they're doing with this entire thing so far. We end up getting a tag team championship match between Damian Priest, R-Truth versus Fraxium. This is a really solid match. I'm not going to go over this match because it was not that long of a match. I kind of wish it was a bit longer, but nonetheless, this was a really fun, exciting match. R-Truth and Damian Priest do retain, which I do like. I've been loving what they're doing with Damian R-Truth. They've been constantly defending the titles. I love the backstage segments they have. They've been a really fun, enjoyable tag team. This is the most enjoyment I've had out of the tag team division since last year, since they was doing the stuff with the Street Profits, Motor City, Fraxium, and all of them. So this has been some really good stuff they've been doing with this tag team division with Damian Priest, R-Truth. After the match, though, we end up getting MFT, Solo, and Tala Tonga. They attack Damian and Truth, which I'm a little afraid, because I am not trying to see the MFTs go after those tag team titles again. I'm really not, because we already seen this before, and we know how this route goes. Now, who knows? Maybe it'll be better if they're not feuding with the Wyatt Six, so who knows? But I am hoping that they do not win, because that would be like their 4th time winning it, because they have won those titles like 4 or 5 times. Like, we do not need them winning again. So let's hope that Damian Truth, if they do go that route, Damian Truth retains, because I am not trying to see another MFT run. MFTs, they are calling out Jacob because Jacob attacked them last week, and basically he Solo wants his hands on Jacob. You get the Usos, they come out, they confront Solo, basically telling him like, look, you gotta wait your turn, basically, that because the OTC got dibs on that. He's gonna face him at Backlash, so you need to wait your turn. Solo is not really caring. He's like, bro, I don't care about that. He ended up getting Tala Tonga to attack both the Usos, and he basically ends up saying that, look, Roman's not my tribal chief, so I don't have to listen to him, basically. They end up having a tag match, which I did not watch because I just didn't care. It did end in DQ due to Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu ends up attacking Solo Sikoa and Tala Tonga. Then there was a stare down between the Usos and Jacob just walked right past him. And that was the end of SmackDown, which it was cool. I don't mind it. I don't love it. I hope they eventually pick up this Bloodline story, because I don't know where it's going. Because this is because I just don't know what they can really do to make it more interesting. Because it's like, are we just going to get the betrayal of the Bloodline again, where everyone turn on each other again and repeat that story? Like, it's going to look, when the Bloodline cooks, it cooks. But Bloodline also has this thing where when it's not cooking, it's at an all-time low. So I hope eventually the story does pick up eventually, but we'll see how this plays out. Again, I'm just not that interested in Solo being involved in this story. I understand it makes sense for him to be in the story. I just don't think he needs to be in this story at this point, because again, he already said it. Roman's not his tribal chief. There's no reason for him to be in this story. He doesn't have a relationship with Roman. He tried to be the tribal chief. Like, there's no reason for Solo, in my opinion, that should be involved in this story like that person. I get that they're related, but for me, I just feel like Solo should just do his own thing away from the family. So that's just me. We'll see how this plays out. We'll see what happens on Raw, but this segment and what they end up doing, I just wasn't feeling. I just feel like nothing really changed. The story didn't really progress here. Moving on to the Women's United States Champion, Tiffany Stratton. She ends up announcing that she's going to be doing open challenges, which, oh my God, like, I guess this company and open challenges are ridiculous. Look, I like a good open challenge. I do. I just think it's over abused. Like, because when you overuse it, it just sounds to me that you don't have any stories to tell. That's literally what you're telling me, because we're doing way too much. We got an Open Family Open Challenge, Tiffany Stratton Open Challenge, Penta was doing Open Challenges. Then you end up doing the whole Sammy, Ilya, and Melo. It's like we're overdoing it. Open challenges are cool when you do it like once a year or like one champion does it. But when you have multiple champions and multiple people do it during the year, it loses value. Like, that's the issue I have with it. I don't mind if one champion does it, but when you do it with multiple champions and multiple people, it loses its prestige after a certain point. Now we end up getting a segment where after she announces it, you get Julia, Kiana, they confront her, and then this leads to Kiana getting a title match next week between Tiffany and her. So we'll see how that match plays out. Tiffany will retain, but I hope the match is solid, so we'll eventually see how that all unfolds. The last thing I do want to mention is Sami Zayn. He was cutting a promo. He basically is mentioning the fans. He's confused on why the fans are booing him, that he doesn't really understand why the fans are booing him. Then he ends up mentioning, diehard Sami Zayn fans, that he knows the fans that still love him deep down inside. There was the gingerbread man standing up. He attacks the gingerbread man, starts ripping it apart. Trick Williams then comes out, and then Trick Williams stands tall, and the match is confirmed at Backlash. Okay. This segment was okay at first until they ended up making it a thing where the gingerbread in kayfabe died. Okay, and then now they're having a memorial segment, a funeral for the gingerbread man costume, which, look, I understand if you like this. I do. It's one of those goofy things where I understand if you like it. For me personally, I just think it's a bit too goofy and too stupid, honestly, for me to really like this. Because look, this feud was already kind of reaching certain levels to the point where I'm not interested. Because look, I already said this last week where the gingerbread man stuff was cool at first, but I said last week should have been the last week because I already know WWE is going to go to a certain point where they overexpose it and overdo things with that costume. Because when WWE finds something that they like, they typically overdo it. They're doing it with Danhausen and they're doing it now with this gingerbread. Why? I get how this could be funny to people, but for me, I just don't find it funny. I just think it's a bit too far. I just think it's a bit ridiculous, especially for a feud that's supposed to be serious, but it's like, I don't know. I just can't take either guy serious. I could barely take Trick Williams seriously, and I could barely take Sami Zayn serious, which is unfortunate because I like both of these guys, but it's really just ruining the feud for me personally. I just don't understand where we're going here because I could easily see Sammy winning. They're teasing the heel turn, which I was right by because I knew that Sammy wasn't a heel, but people thought he was a heel for some weird reason. I knew he wasn't a heel, but we'll see how this plays out. But right now, I'm losing interest in this story week by week with this gingerbread stuff, honestly. But we'll see eventually how this all unfolds. Overall, show was not that good. It's Smackdown is such a weird show because they have things that are good, but then they have a lot that is bad. Like the first hour of the show was good. You end up getting the Damian Priest R-Truth tag team match, JC Jane, Charlotte, Cody and Ricky. Like the first hour was good, but then as the show goes on, due to it being so long, it just drags, and it gets worse and worse. But we'll hopefully next week gets better on the Go Home show to Backlash, but I doubt it. But you guys let me know your overall thoughts, opinions down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my content. But yeah, that's it.